The sea is closing in on one of Ghana's most important historical landmarks, the Christianball Castle, also known as the Osu Castle. Every wave eats away the land. The shoreline may soon vanish completely, leaving land and sea merged.
Use video and use Kudonkai.
The Osu Castle still draws tourists, people eager to connect with its past. 24-year-old Henry Asiboya is visiting the castle for the very first time. He is a lover of fashion. He is not just at the castle to learn, but also to capture its beauty as a backdrop for his pictures.
Have you heard about Osu Castle? So I decided to come and see where they used to keep the slaves, then they will later transport them to overseas. So I decided to come and then take a tour, then have a good background for my fashion photos.
Oh, okay.
So that's what brought me here.
Okay.
What Henry sees today is very different from what others have seen over the years. Just a few meters away from the Osu Castle, 50-year-old Moses Abeka Okain sits by the shore mending his fishing net. He has lived by the sea for decades and remembers when the shoreline was far from the castle.
Castle first year kuse ton sibiane shore enye ba nale tumo biane e ban shore itumo first year bele yo gono ton biane shore te ba nale first year shore fan aton sibiane ke e fon le te e petele no yo ya okote no aishi no utekile dan dan wa nyonye so na bukia o liake te ba nye sevile ne ga bia mi no mi pour te ko no me iwa ni te wonju le woli.
At the base of the Osu Castle, the warning signs are no longer subtle. The rocks that once held firm are now exposed, some cracking, others being pulled away. The waves are no longer breaking offshore. They now strike directly against the foundation. At my visit in 2023, there was still a visible stretch of sandy beach between the sea and the castle. I could stand and walk in that space without difficulty. 3 years later, that buffer is almost gone.
Sea level rise is projected to increase in the future, and this will have a significant effect on the coastal systems and the shoreline behavior. Our study revealed that out of the total number of tourism facilities at risk in Accra, a third cannot physically withstand the event of sea level rise hazard due to their proximity to the shoreline.
For centuries, the Christianball Castle was the seat of government. From the colonial era through independence and into the Fourth Republic. But in 2013, the presidency moved to the Jubilee House. Coastal scientist Professor Kwesi Epieni Ado says advancing coastal erosion played a key role in that decision.
Using the current sea level rise rate and projected future rates, model the impact of coastal erosion on some selected landmark coastal features along Accra's coast. I observed the Nkrumah Mausoleum, the Independence Square, and the Christianball Castle will experience erosion and are likely to be lost to the sea in the very near future, looking between from 50 years to 150 years. This study generated several discussions which have influenced, I believe, the relocation of the presidency to the Jubilee House.
Rising sea levels combined with wave energy and human activities along the coast are accelerating the loss of land. And in many places, there is no effective coastal management plan in place. What is happening at Osu Castle is part of a much larger pattern, Across Accra's coastline, critical infrastructure and entire communities are increasingly exposed. National landmarks, economic zones, homes, all sitting on land that is slowly disappearing.
Several areas along the coast, not just Christian Castle, but several areas along the coast are vulnerable. And how do we ensure that there is an increased resilience so as to be able to fight or to withstand some of these challenges? And like I said, all hands needs to be on deck. We need to initiate a national discussion on these things. Every facility within the coastal area has a certain level of vulnerability. But how do we ensure that we enhance the resilience of communities, resilience of infrastructure, resilience of assets within the coastal area? So it's all encompassing. But unfortunately, because we don't have a workable management plan for the coastal area, anything is just going on.
I feel so bad about it because when I was coming, I interviewed with some people even outside. The environment was lovely, yes, lovely. So I said it will, I'll feel bad about it.
Osu Castle still stands, but the sea is creeping closer, eating away the land it once overlooked. If nothing changes, the loss may not happen suddenly, but bit by bit, until there's nothing left to protect. Emmanuel Jivenu, Joy News, Osu.